Hey folks, welcome back. It's Andy here with Year of Mbira video 12, combining ideas. This video's come around because I had a subscriber to Mbira.online asking about forward Kwenda's Karimugomba variation for his Kushaura, and I've notated that here in this little pack that I've produced to accompany this video. And I'm just going to work through the details here to show how everything that we've explored so far can be combined together to produce traditional variations. So this should be fascinating for you and show you the sorts of skills that you have already got in your hands or could quickly get in your hands if you follow some of the exercises that we've been looking at. Excellent. My instrument is a D Nyamaropa by Gift Chigede. He's got an extra note in here, a low note 2. So just be aware that that one's there on this instrument and it may not be on yours. And up here we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. So I might have an extra note or two up this end that you don't have. Awesome. And some instruments don't have this note too, but it's quite common that that one is present. Excellent. We're in progression 3. So if I just play the root notes, you can hear the sort of core structure of this song. We've got 3, 5, then 7, root, 3rd and 5th of our first note. Next part of the song, we move the 7 up to a note 1. Next part, we move the 5 up to a 6. And then last part, we move the first note up to, from 3 to 4. I'll group those together so you hear the 4 parts. Awesome. One of the difficulties with all progressions, apart from progression 4, which is Nemu Musasa single structure, is that we've got chord 3 present. If I want to play octave pairs for chord 3, or any of the other chords, sorry, I can go high, low over here, and so on. But for chord 3, if I want to play an octave pair, I have to play this note 3 with this one. So that's a little bit difficult for some folk to include in their playing. Instead of that 3, you could substitute a note 5, which is immediately above the 3. That's the 3rd is the root, or 5 is its 3rd, 6, 7 is its 5th. So we know that roots and fifths are the most common note choices in this song, in this music style. So 7s and 3s is also optional. 5s and 3s. That's a good sort of motor pattern. That's a easier one to get hold of. But I'm going to use this 3 so you get the proper sound. So let me go for octave pairs. Exactly what I've just played through, the whole song structure. 3s, 5s and 7s. 3s, 5s and 1s. 3s, 6s and 1s. 4s, 6s and 1s. Giving us... Sorry, 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 1, 3, 6, 1, 4, 6, 1. Again. The cascades that we quite often hear in the right hand are built out of that structure. We start with the 5th of the first chord. The first chord is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to start on a 7 and we just ascend continuously, missing a note between the first 2 chords and missing a note between the last 2 chords. So you're going to hear me playing 7s at the beginning, miss note 6, then onto note 5s and continuously descending, and then missing out note 2 just before the end, giving us... Oh. Missing out note 2. Cool, so I'm playing left hand first, or these octave pairs first, and then the cascade second. So on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're hearing the octave pairs, and on beats 2 and 4, we're hearing the cascade coming in. What if we switch those around? So I'm playing a cascade first, then we'll hear. Oh, sorry. I've got in a jumble there. Let me start again. Excellent. So that moving of the right hand from beats 2 and 4 of the chord to beats 1 and 3, and moving the left hand from 1 and 3 to 2 and 4, that sort of switch around, you'll hear in the creation of a lot of complementary Kushaura hero patterns. Now that we've got our right hand on beats 1 and 3 of each chord, forward makes some slight adaptations to the cascade. The great thing about these cascades is it teaches you roots and fifths for all of the chords, and you can start making your own variations once you become familiar with what notes are possible here against the octave pairs that you were playing in the left. So in the first instance, when I played this octave pair, I was playing note 7s. The second instance, I was playing note 3s down here. So it's teaching you 2 note options for every chord. It's an awesome exercise, and also you often hear these cascades in the traditional music. So this little adaptation that forward makes, instead of playing note 7s during chord 3 in parts 1 and 3 of the song, he maintains the cascade throughout, except for parts 1 and 3 he plays note 3 instead of the 7. So instead of this, we end up hearing 3s. Oh, sorry. Again. So that's one little tweak that he does. And then another tweak, if we look at the document I've produced, if we think of our right hand as playing pairs of notes, ding, 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 he repeats the second pair, a note from the second pair and spills into the last chord. So each 2 notes belongs to a chord. So we've got something spilling over here. So in our first part of the song where we were hearing, we're going to end up hearing, so instead of 2 of these, 2 of these and 2 of these, we hear 2 of these, 3 of these and 1 of those. Applying that to the whole song structure now gives us something very, very close to forward's right hand. Oh. Awesome. So that's the right hand. The left hand we can have some great fun with. Excellent. We began with these octave pairs. And now we're going to change the feel so it fits with the traditional feel of the music. If we think of each 4 beat chord, and we play these pairs of notes, do-do, 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 we end up with these rests creating pairs of notes. Our first pair belongs to the first chord. Our next pair spans 2 chords. Our next pair belongs to the second chord. And then over here, if I had a third hand, our last pair belongs to the last chord. So this pair, and this pair are all easy to play. This pair here, the one that crosses over, is the difficult one. We've got 2 notes from different chords. So you can use the nursery rhyme. The mouse ran up the clock, and then ta-da, to celebrate having got to the end of each part. Ran up, our up moment is the moment you move from notes of one chord into the next. The mouse ran up into the next chord, the clock, ta-da. So we can have our first chord, the mouse, then ran up. We're going to move up into our next chord, chord 5, starting chord 3. The mouse ran up into chord 5. And then, ta-da, you got to the end, chord 7, 3, 5, and 7. The mouse ran up, clock, ta-da. Whole song structure. Oops. The mouse ran up the clock, ta-da. The mouse ran up the clock, ta-da. Ran up the clock, ta-da. Up, up, ta-da. Up, ta-da. Up, ta-da. Up, ta-da. Excellent. That is a little bit tricky to play with the right hand that we've generated, because you're going to have some complicated bits going on over here. I'll just demonstrate it to you, but you might like to adapt the left hand. Instead of playing for chord 3, you could play a 5 and a 3, or this 7, 3, but I'll go for the proper one. So we've got... Oh, sorry. Awesome. To take away that difficulty and to get us on the path that we're heading on, we're going to invert our octave pairs. So we end up, instead of playing high-low, high-lows, we're going to play low-highs. Giving us the mouse ran up the clock, ta-da. The mouse ran belongs to chord 3. The mouse ran up into chord 5, up the clock, and then ta-da for chord 7. It's a little bit less natural, this low to high movement, but super valuable. And also super valuable to start introducing this note 3. Try and get that down. Just going to open up your playing. So what happens if we pop the right hand notes that we've got? That note 3 there falls in between these right hand strokes now. Much easier to play. The mouse ran up the clock, ta-da. 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 Earlier on in the course, I mentioned it in this little booklet. It is Mbira Deep Dive videos 7 and 9. We've got left-hand liberation. It's giving us these note circles, so groups of notes that we could play for chord 1. We can play this circle here. 2, we can play this. 2s and 6s, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For chord 3, 3s and 7s. 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 4s and 1s. Nice circles. 5, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 5s and 2s, big circle. 6, we started off in video 7 using 6s and 1s, so all of our note circles either included 1s or 2s. That was convenient for us. You could play 6s and 3s as root and fifth. Or stay with the 6s and 1s, it's up to you. And then for chord 7, we played 7s and 2s before. Really nice to get those 4s in for chord 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 and 4 for that authentic. But you do hear note 2s during chord 7. If you use thirds, that note 2 is a third. If you use those too often, your music's going to sound cheesy and Western and lose the flavour. Exploring those note circles is going to give you a range of notes to choose from during the mouse ran up the clock pattern. And I want to showcase now some random ideas just to show you the kind of thing. So let me start. I'll play 5s and 3s for chord 3. Ignore the right hand. I'm using note 5 during chord 3. Everything else is note 5s for chord 5. And note 4s for chord 7 there. And you carry on going freestyle across the whole song structure, exploring different random choices. You'll end up playing something that sounds maybe a bit clumsy, like this. And things will start to emerge. So I was just trying to sort of go random to show you some of the scope of that, the value of those exercises. You might end up finding a pattern that you really like, something like this. I was coming down from note 7 to another lower note, or from note 1 to another lower note. That's an example that I've notated in the pack on the second page to show you the kind of thing that you could come up with. I could do the opposite. Instead of coming down from note 7 or 1, which are our 2-note pattern, that you might remember from video 8. What happens if I come up to note 7? All sorts of possibilities. So I emphasize sort of downward strokes and bass sort of hopping, even upper left register hopping, but there's something that's going to be less natural to you, and that's going to be playing low high strokes, so coming up, this kind of thing. Really valuable. You can bounce around a little bit more. Get some freedom with that, and then you'll be able to explore these upward moving X shapes. So if we imagine that we've got a constant line of linear line of numbers here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a linear line of numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's quite easy to visualize these upward diagonal movements. We've got some problems with our instrument. The note 3 that we'd expect to find here is over in the right hand register. The note 1 that we'd expect to find here is up here. So there's some things that are going to happen that are going to break that upward diagonal movement. But if you get the concept, then you're going to be able to create your own patterns, something like this. Let me start at the bottom right. I'm going to be moving diagonally up towards the left. For chord 3, the lowest note that I could choose is note 3 to start on. And if we're moving up here, the highest note that I could choose is note 7. Both valid choices within chord 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root and fifth. Then, so we've got the mouse, ran. We're going to move up into chord 5 over here. I've got a note 5 handy. The mouse ran up into chord 5. The clock, I'm going to move from note 5. I could have chosen a note 2, but a lot of instruments don't have that. So let me carry on with my upward X movements up here, and a theme starts emerging. Chord 7. Ta-da! The mouse ran up into chord 5. Ta-da! Here, our ta-da moment, root and fifth of chord 7. And if I continue that, that one's the one that we'd expect to find here, so it would have been a big diagonal movement for chord 1. 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 1. 3, 6, 1, 4, 6, and 1. And we've got something that's sounding very typically traditional. Let me pop the right hand against that we've created. Change the right hand. What if I freestyle in the right hand with my fingertip freedom? This is kind of like bonus idea that I haven't explored in the document, but if you've given any time to those exercises, then you can play this mind-blowing stuff. These upward movements, they can really free up some cool stuff. The X we'll hang on to, we're going to use that in a second because it's very close to what forward's playing. But I just want to chuck in this idea. You get upward movements in, you can start doing these interesting melody lines. How about an up and then a right? So I could go. Ignore the right hand for now. Up and then across. With the right hand. Excellent. Oh, there's so much scope for it. What about... I'll cover these in another video, but L shapes coming instead of up and across. How about down and across? Having to do across here where I am going down here because of the layout of the instrument. If that one was over here, it would be a clearer L shape. We'd have a 1 and a 1 here going down, but it's over there instead. Awesome, more random freestyle. Loads of scope. Get these note circles in your hands, explore it very slowly. Choose something like this for chord 3. The mouse ran up the clock, ta-da. Then introduce a note variation, a substitution. Do it very slowly, build it up gradually, and you'll have so much freedom in your hands. Awesome. So forwards variation, we've got something in the right hand that's close enough for it. There's just a couple of tweaks that he makes, and you'll see that in the document on the last page over here. Up here, though, we've got something that we're just about to arrive at. That X-shaped pattern that we prepared. Where was I? 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 1, 3, 6, 1, 4, 6, 1. If we take the bass strokes and we bring them up into the upper left register, we're kind of compressing our X. So I call this variation compressed X. But there's no 3 that we can bring up here. So we play note 5, which is its most faithful alternative. And you're going to end up with, instead of this, we squeeze it up here. And so on. I'll play the whole variation in the left hand. Oh, sorry. 3, 5, 1, 3, 6, 1, 4, 6 and 1, 3, 5 and 7, 3, 5 and 1, 3, 6 and 1, 4, 6 and 1. Pop that against the right hand. Awesome. And there's just a couple of tweaks that forward makes. In the left hand, during chord 1, instead of coming back down here to the note 5, he plays this one instead, giving us, oops, so where we heard high 1 down to the 5, we're now playing from the low 1 to the 5, giving us another tweak that he makes at the end of part 2. He plays he jumps up to that 1 where we would have hit the 7. So we're entering chord 1 a little bit early, and that is a feature of Karimugomba. So we need to start doing that if you want to get the proper Karimugomba flavour. If you're doing all your noodling around this moment, the last chord of part 2, come into chord 1, 1 beat earlier. Awesome. And you've got something there really close to what forward's playing, and you'll understand it a lot better. So the whole point in today is to show you, you can stack these ideas together, cascades. They teach you roots and fifths. Once you've got them in your hands, you can start making variations based on what the exercise has taught you. You can pick notes that you know are valid during certain chords because you've played them in those chords before. Then in the left hand, get the octave pairs down and then start trying to explore the mouse run up the clock pattern, but using the note circles that you've explored elsewhere. You really want to do these note circles. Play the cascades against like L shapes on beats 1, 2 and 3 of each chord. So you've got a little moment to rest here. Chord 3 I could play. Chord 5 I could play. And chord 7 I could play. Give me something like this. And these L shapes, so you're making 3 strokes during 4 beats. So do, rest, do, rest. And you're choosing, all of our note circles contain 4 notes. You're choosing, if that was chord 4, you're choosing 3 notes from those 4. And there's 24 different possible L shapes in each. And so on. There's 24 possible L shapes that you can make out of each group of 4 notes, each of these note circles. So valuable. Chord 3, awkward one, there's only 3 notes there. I think you've only got 6 different things you can play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's only 6 different possibilities there, but all of the 4-note ones, 24 different possibilities. So I could go through the whole song with a cascade. And make up random L shapes. You're gonna, 24 possibilities for each chord, and that exercise will embed the cascade in your hand and force you to make some rapid choices over here that's gonna free up your playing massively. That and that, cascade, 3-stroke L shapes, going through a song progression is the most powerful exercise that I can suggest to you, and that's really the thing that I'm pushing today, that you have a go at. And everything else, the mouse run up the clock, exploring the new note options, is then going to be at your fingertips. You're going to be able to come up with stuff like this in the moment. It just opens it all up. I wish you all the best. Resources available to subscribers at Mbira.online, and I'll walk you through everything with some explanation. Oh, one other thing, there was something in the right hand that we've created. Instead of playing, we repeating that note 5, giving us that figure. We could call it A, B, 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 C. We've got A, B, and C. I could have chosen elephant, cheetah, and monkey, like whatever you want to call it. The middle one's getting repeated and spilling into the last chord. It produces a little feature that matches up with the pairs in the left hand. Forget what I'm playing over here, just get the idea that there's a pair and then another pair. Our first 3 strokes here, I've got same, and then different. And then our next 3 strokes over here, I've got same, and different. And that phrasing, so you can kind of forget that the notes from the middle chord are getting repeated. Think of it in a different way. We've got A, B, and BBC could just be another way of saying A, B again. We've got same, different, 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 same, different. Different, same, 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 different. That ends up matching up with our pairs in the left hand. Do same falls in between, and then different. So we're ending up with like a 6-beat phrase that looks just like here in bold, repeated again, faded. Same, different, same, different. Here I've called it AAB, whereas on the first page, our first way of thinking about it was AAB, BBC. Same, different. Same, different. and that's sort of emphasizing this little structure. That's really going to give you a good feel of what's happening in these variations. Awesome. Excellent. Have some fun with it all, and I'll see you on the other side. Well done for sticking through this. You might want to come back to this video a few times. Cheers.